So a congressman and lawyer, Clement Vallandigham, was defending Thomas McGeehan in a murder trial. McGeehan was accused of shooting a well-known tough guy, Thomas Myers. Now, how did Vallandigham get his client acquitted? So the question is, Congressman and lawyer Clement Vallandigham was defending Thomas McGeehan in a murder trial. McGeehan was accused of shooting a well-known tough guy, Thomas Myers, in the stomach. How did Vallandigham get his client acquitted?
We've got... Wow. Okay. Did I need to write the names down there, Devin? Should I have been paying attention to the names that were in there?
Not really. I think you just need to know that they're sort of old-timey names, and I'll let you know that this was a very unique defense.
God intervened. Something.
You might say that.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow,
So
that's a strong start.
Yeah.
But also, it's not that close.
No, but did the acquittal have anything to do with religion? And
No.
What year was this, did you say?
was it a natural disaster?
It was not no natural disaster. Saying that God intervened might be less helpful than helpful. This is at the end of the 19th century.
Oh, so there's not much to go on here. It's just...
But there was no like superstition, anything where it was like, oh, it was a demon that pulled the trigger, or...
The victim, Thomas Myers, was shot. So McGeehan was accused of shooting this guy.
The injury actually ended up helping him because he had had knee pain his entire life. He got shot in the knee and he got magically cured. So he got acquitted because it actually ended up being helpful.
The victim did die.
Oh, okay. He wanted to die anyway.
Something's kind of crawling up from the depths of my memory here, which sounds terrible, which is that... Did they, test the firearm in the courtroom or something like that? I've got a weird memory about a story of a gun being taken into a courtroom and fired at someone so they could prove it wasn't done that way, something like that?
A gun was brought in for demonstration purposes, yes.
Was it brought into a courtroom, or was it brought into this was an early movie set?
There are differing accounts. Some say it was in the courtroom. Some say it was outside of the courtroom. But there is a reason why this is a very unique defense that has never been tried again.
Oh, okay.
The gun was faulty and triggered by itself?
That was the argument that was being made, yes. So that's the argument that the lawyer Clement Vallandigham was making.
And what is the question? The question is...
So the question is, why was the lawyer's defense successful in defending this guy accused of murder? And the argument that he was making was that the victim shot himself.
Hold on. So the defendant was holding the gun, was pointing it at the victim, but
But the defense was that the victim shot himself.
Correct. So it's not necessarily clear that it was the accused murderer's gun.
Oh, the defendant didn't properly store or clean his gun. And so when it was used as a demo, it was his fault that he got shot with it and died?
It wasn't the defendant that didn't know how to handle the gun. But someone else did a really bad job of handling what turned out to be a loaded firearm.
They were just cleaning the gun and collaborating on it. They were doing something together with the gun that was not the intention of...
The victim's pet hamster jumped on the gun and accidentally fired the trigger.
I'll give you a clue that... so the victim was shot, but the gun might have been shot later on at a different time by perhaps someone else.
Oh, he didn't die of the same gunshot wound.
I'd focus more on the lawyer. How was he able to create this defense?
The lawyer shot him.
The lawyer did not shoot the victim, no.
The lawyer shot the defendant. And so
he didn't shoot the defendant either.
The lawyer shot the judge and just decided, and through some weird technicality in American law, that actually that settled the.
Yes, according to the Second Amendment, if you shoot the judge, then the defendant is free to go.
You can't say that in your authoritative lawyer voice, Devin. Someone will take that out of context.
You're so close. Who else is possible to have been shot other than
The judge shot him. The lawyer shot the judge. Wait, the lawyer shot the judge. The lawyer shot the victim.
I'm drawing network diagrams in my head and it's not working.
Did anybody get shot in the courtroom?
Yes.
Huh.
Okay.
Did the lawyer shoot himself?
The lawyer shot himself.
What?
Yes. So in the process of demonstrating that it was possible that the victim actually was taking the gun out of his own pocket and shot himself and perished, the lawyer, Clement Vallandigham, was trying to demonstrate that this was possible. This is at the end of the 19th century, so you have one of those Colt revolver sort of things with a hair trigger. And in the process of demonstrating that it was possible, the victim, in pulling it out, shot himself, pulled the gun out, shot himself in the stomach because he didn't know he was dealing with a loaded firearm. And as a result of demonstrating that not only was that possible, but it can lead to someone passing away, in this case, the lawyer who died several days later, the defendant, after several retrials, was acquitted and was set free.
Oh, wow.
I can see why this has not been tried again.
Yeah. That was one of those questions where all the clues you said made sense, and we just had to stumble towards the one connection there.
There are a lot of people who would like to see lawyers try this defense, but sadly, no one else has done it. The answer is that Vallandigham was demonstrating how it might have been the case for Myers to draw his gun from his pocket and accidentally shoot himself in the process and shoot himself in the stomach. And while Vallandigham was performing this demo, he'd forgotten about his own partially loaded gun, which he'd been using to test things. And when he pulled the gun out, he accidentally squeezed the trigger and shot himself in the stomach, demonstrating that it was indeed possible for the victim to have shot himself. The lawyer perished a few days later.